Welcome back, everyone. We've got an upper bracket series for you. It's Cloud9 facing off against OTK. Loser of this has to face another difficult team, Method NA.
The Grand Arena. Here we go. I actually think that the Warrior Mage composition in this matchup is a little bit more forgiving than the one. I feel like Windwalkers can just flop, but this Windwalker Mage is no ordinary Windwalker Mage. It's OTK. Combustion was already popped from Wealthy Man and didn't really get a whole lot done. Steedu was able to just nullify it, just healing through it with just Avenging Wrath so far. But what's the win condition here, Sid, for the Warrior Mage composition specifically?
Mostly just intervene the mage every time damage is being set up, soak the hits, do maximum pressure, sustain damage. It's just the general game plan for the Warrior. The Windwalker is setting up windows, but Warrior is just about uptime and intervenes really in denial. Cubsy currently in a paralyze. Good opportunity to set up. War Banner looks like it might have clipped that blinding light. Hammers are down. Wealthy Man's isolated. Nice setup by OTK here. Can they keep it up? Hammers are now over. Cubsy getting big heals out onto Wealthy Man with Avenging Wrath in a moment. He should be going back to full health. As I say, should be. Wealthy Man's still hovering quite low. His Avenging Wrath not getting maximum value, actually. Trill is just doing so much damage now. Set up on a Sam and a Stormbolt. Poly Fear, triple crowd control. Nice one by Cloud9. That's going to net them a Cauterize as well as a Sacrifice. Cloud9 put themselves in a good position.
Yeah, definitely not a bad spot. And I would say, actually, Trill, he still has his Zwen, so a lot of damage still available here for Trill. The next time he's got that life sweep available, Wealthy Man could just get dropped. What is going on? What is this damage? Cubsy right now has to trade out his Sacrifice. Still not the Zwen from Trill, so a lot of damage available for OTK. They're getting so much pressure here onto Wealthy Man. Cubsy finally topping him off, but at what cost? I mean, look at his mana. Both these teams playing so aggressive. A lot of the times we'll see the mage is in this position where they're just hiding behind the pillar, just trying to control the game, and this is kind of what I guess what we defaulted back to. But when all 6 members are on top of each other, everyone's going for crowd control, everyone's going for damage. These paladins are really taxed on their throughput. Trill not allowing him to drink. Frostbolt coming in from Wealthy Man, slowing down Trill. Cubsy just always threatening that drink. Big setup here on Samiam as well. It's a Kleptomania coming in from Wealthy Man. He's actually just getting a free combust right now, putting out massive damage on Sam. And Cedar's going to have to power through and heal through all of that pressure. Keep in mind, Sam, with no Cauterize, he's really feeling this pressure right now.
That was Avatar Combust. It's finally subsided here. In cap, leg sweep onto Wealthy Man. Looks like Trill's going to pop that Tiger and get aggressive. Finally, Hodge goes out onto Cubsy. Nothing to follow it up just yet. Wealthy Man still just on the run, getting away from this Weapons of Order, Zwen the Tiger, Monk. Now Trill caught into some CC for now. But is that Cauterize? That's Cauterize proccing for Wealthy Man. Unbelievable. So this is a much more even game now. No sacks or Cauterize for either mage. But here we go. Big setup on the Samiam. And
Shatter.
that's an ice block.
Oh, the grapple.
Grapple weapon to the Shatter.
Today I learned you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that either, but Trill with a nice heads-up play. I mean, that might have been at least sack, maybe his life, if he didn't get that grapple weapon right there. Snuts gets Frost Nova'd. Sam's on the run. Cubsy looks like he's trying to drink. Oh, man, if Cubsy gets full mana here, that's going to be devastating. He got quite a chunk. Now maybe 30% in the lead over Cubsy here. That's a good position in terms of good position for Cubsy over Cedu. Now Samiam's trying to go for invisibility. He's trying to hide, but they find him. He is not going to be able to run from this fight. Cloud9 look to say good night. Double stun combo. Sam pre-alter times it, going back in time to full health. Wealthy Man saves some damage, but now he's stunned up by Trill. Cubsy responding, trading Sacrifice for the cooldowns of Trill, leaving an opening for Sam. If Sam can avoid Snuts, he's trying to reset that combustion with shifting power, getting a couple more seconds off the clock. Sacrifice about to subside. Samiam's loading up, avoiding Snuts at the same time. Cedu still has Sacrifice to trade, but if he spends a lot of mana here, he's not going to have a lot to work with. And there's the combustion coming out from Wealthy Man. Is there a way for them to stop it? Doesn't look like they're just allowing it to go off at this point. They're stable. Cedu uses Sacrifice. Zwen's coming up in 18. Trill really needs to make a big play with this. Trill uses Diffuse Magic to get out of Frost Nova. He needs to get as much damage as possible, realizing that this game could end soon. They have to get a kill. It's all in Trill's hands.
Yeah, it certainly is. He has a lot of damage available. Samiam in some trouble. No Cauterize, no Ice Block. Wealthy Man certainly ahead in that regard. Nice alter time, saving a little bit of Cedu's mana there, but Cloud9 definitely in a solid lead, but you can never count them out with Trill, how much damage he's able to put out. Wealthy Man just kiting around, trying to get away. What are they going to do? Ooh, Ooh, did he blink the leg sweep? No, he did not. There's a full leg sweep right now on Wealthy Man. Massive damage is available, but he doesn't even have to trade out his trinket. Cubsy actually opts to use the Divine Shield as well as the Blessing of Protection. Sam taking a huge hit of damage with the Blinding Light. Sam's in so much trouble. Seadu's got no breakers. Snut's gonna get the executes. He's there. He goes for the pummel. Polymorph's coming in from Sam I am as well. He has to avoid getting counterspelled. Looks like Seadu is able to get out of the crowd control. Big heal on Sam. That was a really tense moment. Sam literally had nothing left but the Ring of Frost and the Polymorphs. Ended up keeping him alive with good backup from Trill and Seadu. Now Seadu actually sitting down for a drink. Flame Strike from Wealthy Man denies that drink. And both these teams really on point at this part. Just really making sure no one can recover mana. Sam in a lot of danger. Execute comes in from Snuts. Second execute from Snuts. Hammer of Justice. Trinket.
Pod.
Sam I am will proc the seed. Seadu, does he have the throughput to actually keep it alive? It looks like he might. No. And it does get dropped. Cloud9. Speaking to Snuts yesterday, he said he was really afraid of this matchup, but they certainly brought their A game, and I have to say, yesterday we saw them in the Warrior Mage Paladin mirrors as well. They were looking really well practiced.
I'm really interested to go and take a look at this replay. I think that the main things that I was looking at was just how well and how positioned both the mage and the paladins were throughout this game. I think Snuts did a phenomenal job maintaining the pressure that he needed, as well as being able to be there for backup. But Trill's damage is just absolutely devastating. And so Cubsy, he did a phenomenal job keeping his team aggressive through it all. And every single time that Tiger was out on the field, like, I just was 10 times more tense. But it's all about trades. It's all about how efficient that you can get your opponent's buttons. And as you can see at the end of here, Sam I am, it was completely tapped. That's the avatar from Snuts. Even the desperation Hodge onto Snuts to try to stop that damage was too little too late. There was a sacrifice earlier on in the game, I think in response to Wealthy Man's combustion. That was a little questionable. Maybe they could hold on to it, maybe try to look for a spell steal on it, but OTK, they fall to Cloud9's Warrior Mage Holy Paladin. That to me says a lot, because if they were saying that they were scared of this composition and they beat it that handily, Cloud9, it looks like a force to reckon with.
They certainly do, David. This is going to be, I feel like, a pretty evenly, these two teams have been pretty evenly matched for quite some time here, but Cloud9 going to be taking that game number 1 victory, so maybe they'll have the momentum to ride them out for the rest of this series, but we're gonna find out soon. But do we feel like Supatees, how likely is it that we're going to see this one go to a game 5? I mean, I don't feel like either of these teams are capable of shutting that down too quickly.
That's definitely possible. I feel like you got Windwalker, Fire Mage Burst. Really, anything can happen. But at the same time, OTK might be having a tactic of going to small maps and tagging in Mez every time that they can. And then on blind picks, utilizing Sam. I could see a Frost Death Knight, Windwalker doing pretty well into Warrior Mage Paladin on hook point and just cleaving the team, running them out of mana, and just going for pressure kills. So I'm wondering what the blind lock's going to be for Cloud9. I don't feel like they have any cleave options, so they're probably going to play the same thing, Warrior Mage throughout, unless something absolutely stumps them. It depends on how OTK wants to play this. They either just want to do this Windwalker Mage dance the whole way through, and then I see them just picking neutral maps. But if they pick small maps like this, yeah, they're going to go Windwalker DK, tag Mez in. Not a bad idea.
Nah, never a bad idea to tag Mez in. Can't go wrong with him.
I think Mez has been really important. I'm actually curious that Cloud9 didn't blind lock something else. I guess it's a difficult spot for them to be in. Bringing in maybe the Elemental Shaman Moonkin Paladin might have been good on the small map, just because I feel like this is going to be a real struggle for them against what OTK is bringing. This cleave setup, Windwalker Death Knight Shaman on a small map, it's going to be really miserable for Wealthy Man to try to get anything going. He's going to have to be really careful, and I'm kind of curious to see what Cloud9's going to do in terms of targeting. I think you kind of have to go after Trill, so we'll see if they can take him down. We saw OTK kind of come up with some really unique strategies. Actually, the Necro Lord from Trill, the last time we saw him play, which helped keep him alive in stuns, and that could be just another one of those things that Cloud9 has to push through, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see. These teams are going to be getting ready to head into this map shortly here. I feel like on Hook Point, especially D-Machine, it just seems like Frost Death Knights, especially with how that last series went, Frost Knights seem to just like flourish with this map in particular.
It reminds me of that scene from one of the greatest movies of all time, Spider-Man, the original, where you got 3 minutes of playtime. It's just such a small little map that there's nowhere to go. You guys don't know the scene I'm talking about?
Of course I do.
Thank you, Elliot. Jeez, you're a real OG.
Bonesaw is ready.
Bones, let's go, baby. That's kind of how I feel. I
references
feel like Bonesaw is OTK and Spider-Man is Cloud9. And I don't know if you guys watched the movie, but Cloud9 is probably gonna win in that regard. But not if you based on the movie, but based on honestly my predictions, I think OTK's Windwalker DK is a force to be reckoned with. I feel like this damage is going to be absurd to deal with, and the clock is ticking for Cloud9 to be able to set something up and land the pressure that they need. Look at this onslaught immediately onto Wealthy Man. Sea-Doo caught into the fear to start things off. Hodge onto Trill. He's going to be the kill target for now, and that's going to be the immediate karma diffuse, respecting that damage. He's swapping it over on the Snuts with that leg sweep. Bop goes out onto Wealthy Man to stop that leg sweeps onslaught, but they just hit Snuts instead. And now they're going to continue to go on to Wealthy Man. At least Mez is. He's basically a wizard with a two-hander.
Let's see if he can keep it up here. That combustion sitting in the back pocket. Trill is definitely a wide open target at the moment for Cloud9. Snuts down at half, getting owned right now by Trill. Trill's going to get stunned up. They're trying to turn it around. Combustion has been blown out. Anti-magic zone is there to protect. Grip into a dragon stun by Mez. Wealthy Man managed to blink away from it just in time, fortunately, to avoid a ton of damage. Trill is still patiently holding on to that Zwen, but Cubsy is also holding on to Avenging Wrath to trade for it. Now Zwen is out. Is Cubsy going to respond? He has Avenging Wrath available. They actually just Frost Nova, Mez, and the Tiger. Trill is the only one trying to stay on target. Sea-Doo goes for a Spirit Walker's Grace, but that's still a lot of damage onto Trill. Sea-Doo has to drop Spearlink Totem just to recover from the pressure. The threat of the counterspell was too much, not wanting to get locked out here. Sea-Doo has to fake out Wealthy Man's counterspell, and as the only caster on the team, it's going to be tough. He gets caught in a Stormbolt Hammer of Justice. Beautiful combo. What's left to keep Trill alive? A blinding sleet from Mez into a double leg sweep, buying an opportunity to try and turn this battle around, but it's not looking good in my mind. I feel like Cloud9 are in a good position.
Yeah, certainly not too bad. Right now, the pressure has been very high on Trill, but he has the Karma as well as his Diffuse Magic, so still some tools he can work with, and Mez with the Chains of Ice is going to make it really difficult for Snuts to actually stay on target. Potentially, Trill just behind the pillar right now, getting chopped up. He's had to play so defensive in this game. Mez trying to slow down Wealthy Man every way he can. Cubsy actually goes, he sits and drinks to full, looking for a Holy Light on Snuts, tops him off. Cloud9 in a very good position with full mana. Sea-Doo down to 50% mana. This was supposed to be OTK's map pick.
Yeah,
this was supposed to be their composition pick, but it is not looking that great right now. They've really struggled to find goes. There it is. Oh, the stun misses. It only hits one person. Snuts does a really good job with that Blade Storm, and as a result, Wealthy Man's going to be able to get some crowd control. Maybe.
Wow.
Trill getting bursted down. Huge hit of damage. He's hiding in the protection of that Ring of Peace for now. But Sea-Doo kind of struggling to keep him topped off. That was the Karma. That was the Trinket. And Cloud9's on fire.
Yeah, so I guess I'm eating my words a little bit here. But the plot of Spider-Man continues to be true so far, as Cloud9 seemingly is just taking control of this game. Blind goes out onto Trill. Sea-Doo drops that preempted Earthen Wall Totem. Here's the full Hodge. Here's the fear onto Sea-Doo, and Trill just gets completely annihilated. What Earthen Wall Totem? I just brushed that totem off.
Okay.
Okay, don't pick Windwalker DK again.
I take back what I said about Frost Death Knights.
What?
I did not expect
My
that
bad.
to be that.
Wow.
I
feel
did
like
not
I
expect
jinxed
that to be
OTK.
that.
I did not expect that to be that.
Excellent insight, Sid.
Well,
I did not expect that to be that.
That was
I did
definitely
did not expect that to be that, but it ended up being that.
I mean, who
Super
could have ever
Keys
guessed that would be that? I mean, I don't think anyone could have, because no one's ever seen that.
That Ring of Peace was sick to stop that polymorph. It's like, oh, I'm going to stop this CC. I'm going to be A-okay, but not really. Diffuse magic there. Combust is coming back up in just 5 seconds, and now Diffuse is down. take a gander at Trill's health bar.
Look
here
at
as soon as he
anti-magic
gets
zone.
put in that Hodge.
Mez has anti-magic
yeah.
zone, so what stops Mez from dropping this? Because I think it had to have been combust, right? So
Yeah, there's
Mez
the blind.
fleshcrafts DB, he immunes it, but then he gets poly. No, he interrupts poly.
He got
could have
locked
anti-magic
out?
zone. Oh, he got interrupted.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Oh.
He actually,
Wait.
I didn't know that interrupted you on anti-magic zone. I don't think Mez knew that
doesn't?
interrupted him on anti-magic
Wow.
zone either.
Wait, does it?
I mean, it put
Getting
it on
interrupted
cooldown when he got
Fleshcraft?
kicked. It's a shadow spell.
Really?
It's a shadow spell, so I guess it puts it on cooldown if you're kicked.
That's insane. Wow.
That is devastating. That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a quick game, a lot quicker than I really thought it would be. I thought if it was going to be a quick game, it would have been, OTK kind of walking away with it. But Wealthy Man, Snuts, and Cubsy did a good job avoiding the setups. And I feel like Frost Athlete, they kind of rely on that, right? Get everyone grouped together, get the double stuns, get the bouncy ball bouncing, and that's when you can really get some damage rolling. But if Snuts is blade storming the goes, and they're keeping Trill on the back foot, it becomes really difficult for OTK to find pressure, which is what we saw. And now Cloud9, they're one away from making it to the grand
Yep.
finals, sending OTK down to the lower bracket. And that's not really a spot you want to be in as OTK, because it's not, it's not an easy team down there. It's Method NA, so...
Yeah, and that series is like next too, so it's not even like they get a break to like mentally prepare
No.
themselves for that team, because both of the two really hard teams in a row, it's going to end up being a long day for them, because then even if they do end up beating Method NA, then they have to go right back up to playing Cloud9. So whoever ends up winning this series or losing this series is going to have a tough road back to that finals position. But Cloud9 right now looking like kind of a easier series than I think maybe a lot of people would have predicted. Already up 2-0 right now. These games aren't even going that long. That was an explosive game number 2 for them despite OTK's composition choice. So what are they going to choose to do next? Black Rock Hold is going to be their map here. Cloud9 going to be staying on that Fire Mage Arms Warrior as well. OTK, now all eyes are on them as they are choosing to decide here what exactly they're going to do. And it didn't work out with that Windwalker DK, kind of their one of their favorite picks for that team, and I'm really curious as to see what they're going to decide here next.
Maybe
they're
they
going
don't
to do
know.
it again. I think they're going to just do it again. Windwalker DK
Really?
again. It's a better map maybe for Trill to survive.
Because of the rooms?
Yeah, the starting room, the port is a little bit more effective. Maybe Trill
Yeah.
even goes Necro Lord just to get a little bit more durability.
Was he playing Kyrian? Let's see.
He was playing Kyrian last
Yeah,
game.
he
At
had
least on the
Absorber.
UI, he was playing Kyrian.
Yeah, he was.
So maybe that's what they switch over to. Maybe they try. Yeah, that's what they're gonna.
Nope.
I mean, they might not do
Wow.
Necro. They might just be writing that off as Mez got kicked on something we didn't know existed, and then couldn't put
Yeah.
anti-magic zone when he normally would.
That was genuinely a really small window. I mean, the link
Yeah.
earlier, I appreciate both of these teams just kind of shoving their buttons and like really just going for like efficient trades. But it's risky, man. But it's fast and exciting, so I'm all about it. I think that just like with the trades going just a slightly different I feel like OTK's Windwalker DK could actually be a bit more competitive than that last game kind of told us.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what they can do with this composition here on the side of OTK. So that last game that we saw, game number 2 in this series, certainly not somewhere that we normally see OTK in a position. So hopefully game number 2 is the charm. Second time is the charm. We're really good at idioms today on the desk. But we're going into game number 3. Let's see if they can get this composition to work. I think they can. Windwalker DK, excellent comp for OTK, but Cloud9 on match point here, and they do not want to go down to the lower bracket to face
More
off
popcorn.
against Method NA. Okay, now I see
Now
the
I get
popcorn.
the
I get
meme.
it now. Okay, Sid and I
Yeah.
missed the popcorn thing. We were really confused about that.
How
is that?
into a skeleton while
Yeah.
eating popcorn? That's what I
Why
want
does
to
the
know.
popcorn
He doesn't-
still look fresh?
He doesn't
Because
even
they
have a
died
digestive
waiting for
system.
dampening to start, man.
They died waiting for dampening. That's a Cloud9 series.
It's a damp 9 skeleton, dude.
That was too much.
I don't think this game's going to go to dampening. Trill's going to take a lot of... I mean, look at him. What? Is he just dead to nothing? This is literally just they're just attacking him right now. Chains of Ice on Snuts, trying to go after Wealthy Man. Cubsy, I think Snuts needs to go after Sea-Doo, maybe split up. He leaps over to Sea-Doo for a fear. Oh, Sidu
nice
pre-tremmered
tremor.
the leap fear. Nice outplay by Sidu. Grip into double stun here by Trill. Setting up for some damage. They get Wealthy Man's medallion out of the way, but there's combustion. Trill immediately trading as Sidu was locked out on a heal. Wealthy Man's getting smacked by Mez. Mez is not letting that last game go off without punishment.
Slappy hands coming in hot by Mez right now, gripping everyone in, allowing him some major uptime there. But this is the key for Cloud9 to succeed, is they need to be rotating their trinkets on all of their goes. Last time was Wealthy Man. The next one we need to see Snuts, or we need to see Cubsy to shut it down, kind of delay them from getting that all-out one-shot. In the meantime, Trill has to survive. Double stun coming in from Mez. Nicely done. Both can finally reconnect. Wealthy Man's going to be kiting out of that earthen wall totem, but forced, unfortunately, to go back into it. Just going to be using Soul Shape to try to get away. Big heals coming in from Cubsy. We saw Cubsy sneak away in the last game to get a drink. I think that's going to be something we need to look for in this game as well. Let's see if they can. Really nice job there by Snuts, using that Door of Shadows Disorient to get some crowd control on Trill, Zwen, and Mez. And free Wealthy Man for a moment, keeping him alive. Very clutch.
Yeah, I love when Trill just turns around and just punches Snuts super hard. I mean, Windwalker Monks do huge damage. Sky Fury Totems down for Sidu. They want to punish Wealthy Man. He nearly goes down. Cauterize does not proc, but that's the blessing of protection from Cubsy. He's running Blessed Hands, so he has two of them. Wealthy Man now getting kicked is going to force the sacrifice out for Cubsy, and OTK is forcing button after button. They swap over out onto Snuts. Is this going to be the die by the sword for him? Cubsy's got to keep him alive as well, and OTK is just not letting the pressure go under. There's the root going out onto Mez. Trill trying to reconnect as well, but the Earthen Wall Totem is going to keep Sidu's team aggressive here. Trill in the Stormbolt now is going to port immediately, respecting that setup. But the double fear from Snuts from downtown with that heroic leap, followed by the full polymorph. Trill could very easily just die here, or very at the least trade karma, but his mobility is going to keep him alive for now. And now Sidu's the one who's on the run, as they can swap over onto him with the Hodge.
They get his trinket. I mean, it is the combustion, but still, Shaman Trinket out of the way is a big threat. Double Dragon, almost sniping Cubsy. Cubsy dodging it off in the distance. This is Abomination Limb. Mez is trying to ramp up for some big damage, but they're just not finding it. Cloud9 are looking impervious, winning on mana at this point, sniping big cooldowns. Cubsy looks like he's drinking. Wealthy Man repositioning. They're not stopping the drink. Cubsy's full mana. The Death and Decay way too late. Was it not off cooldown, maybe?
Nice.
It seemed a little bit odd. Now Trill is getting blasted. Triple Blinding Sleep. They need to get
nice
something
setup.
big off this. They need to get something big. Cubsy and Wealthy Man trinket to dodge the chill streak. Trill is the one who's still falling behind, but he's trying to go for the kill. Popping the Zwen Tiger. Trying to stay on target with the Flying Serpent kick. Interrupting the polymorph. Snuts is getting obliterated. Wealthy Man's down below half. They need to get cooldowns on this push with the Zwen. Otherwise, I think they're out of this game. They're so close to getting it. So close and yet so far. That Door of Shadows Disorient from Snuts stalls some of the damage, but they're still going for it, trying to push forward for the Cauterize. How are they not finding the Cauterize? Snuts intervenes and Stormbolt's Trill on the fist, and OTK get totally shut down. And they Spirit Link?
Yeah, Spirit Link trades out. That wasn't the combustion. That wasn't even Avatar. It was no cooldowns, but Sidu just didn't have the throughput, not even in dampening. Both these teams struggling. Sidu gets interrupted. Trill still on the run, forced to use the Transcendence, but Snuts is all over him in battle stance. Still maneuvering away, throwing in some Vivifies, trying to stabilize himself and get in line of sight of Wealthy Man, trying to get some damage rolling, but Wealthy Man still with his Ice Block, his Cauterize, going to be feeling relatively safe here. Let's see how Mez can set them up. He needs to grip them all together, get the Blinding Sleep on them all, and he gets Snuts. He gets Wealthy Man and Snuts. They get the double stun, big damage, Blessing Protection here from Wealthy Man. Nice Dragon's Breath. Snuts is going to be A-OK, and the way Cloud9 is rotating their defensive cooldowns is what is allowing them to extend the game for so long. Normally, if you fall behind, you mess up your trinkets, you just get such a troubled situation. But now Trill is just being forced to run. He does have a lot of cooldowns, though. The nice thing about the Windwalker Monk is a lot of your cooldowns are quite short, so feeling pretty safe here with his Diffuse, his Karma, with everything. Double stun here from Mez, and a preemptive Earthen Wall Totem by Sidu. Maybe Sidu can drink here, as his team is getting very aggressive on Wealthy Man.
Yeah, Wealthy Man dipping down to half, and Cubsy's mana is still looking quite healthy here as dampening just begins. Cubsy actually gets kicked very briefly, as well as Wealthy Man. Wealthy Man dipping down lower and lower. Mez caught in the polymorph though. No more damage to follow it up, and there's the sacrifice. Bring a piece on the Cubsy as well. Sea-Doo caught in the full fear though, so Trill needs to be aware of that and get ready to port if he absolutely needs to. There's the Hodge onto Trill. This is the combust from Wealthy Man, and the AMZ is not going to get locked out this time around. Leg sweep on the Snuts, and that's going to force the die by the sword, and OTK is fighting back, Sid.
Yeah, they're trying to keep themselves in the fight here. If they lose one more, they go down to the lower bracket to face Method NA, which they have not had a good run against either here. It's the top 3 teams remaining in North America to battle for Cup 3 champion title and accumulating the most amount of points to qualify to the circuit. They're just staying on this mage. Wealthy Man trying to get something. These defensive Door of Shadows from Snuts have actually been pretty clutch, just disorienting the Windwalker and the Death Knight for a couple of seconds during Zwen. A bit of extra crowd control from the Warrior, and Snuts is now just trying to not get cleaved too much while Wealthman's getting blasted, waiting for that Zwen to fade. Sea-Doo's almost totally tapped on mana. They really need to get something with this Zwen, but Trill gets storm bolted up. Earthen Wall is down, but Sea-Doo gets counterspelled. I like that he anticipated the interrupt with a defensive cooldown, but regardless of it, Trill has to Karma. He's going to grapple weapon, Snuts on Avatar, stall damage, wait for Sea-Doo to get out of crowd control. Looking decently stable, maybe not. Full Hammer of Justice. Trill trying to toss out some Vivifies. Double leg sweep. Still trying to stall. A Blinding Light now on Sea-Doo. Snuts caught in a stun. Maybe a swap to Snuts. No, Trill's the one who's getting crushed. Sea-Doo pops Ascendance, but it's not doing anything. Trill portals back. Snuts leaps on top of him. Cubsy on the right, Snuts on the left. Mez grips Snuts away from Trill. Buying time to recover, but they're working with such limited resources here. Really just the Spirit Link Totem. Anti-Magic Zone comes up soon. Here's the Abomination Limb. They need some value. Mez is just going to Anti-Magic Shield to get damage out. They need damage here and now. Dampening stacking up. Mez is just Wraith walking out of roots, trying to maximize his pressure, but they're not finding the damage that they need.
Coming in on that combustion, keeping OTK alive, and now it's do or die. OTK, they have to make a push. They need to push, but can they? Trill, he's in so much trouble. They shred through Karma. He's on the run. Sea-Doo's got no healing. He's in execute range. Fists of Fury barely holding on. The Vivify, beautiful trinket, but it is not enough. Snuts closes it out. Cloud9 3-0. OTK has to go to the losers bracket to play against Method NA. But Cloud9, they have looked so impressive with this Warrior Mage Paladin this weekend. It is absolutely unbelievable.
Wholeheartedly agree, man. Dude, Cloud9, I mean, I feel kind of bad calling them Damp 9 with such aggressive games like this. That I mean, this is insane.
They've
like,
evolved.
yeah, they definitely have.
This is Cloud 9.2.
This is Cloud 9.2, man. For sure. I agree with that.